Yeah, you've got it. It's the York Sports Report Show. Ladies and gentlemen, calm down. I'm coming on stage. Yes. Look who's smiling a little bit. Joe Quinville with his Hawks up 3-1. All because of this guy is getting it going. Jonathan Toews gets the hat trick last night. Roberto Luongo, well, he looked back 6 times last night. That's 12 goals in 2 games. I'm Jason York. Enjoy the show, everyone.
I'm Jason York, your host. Thanks for joining me on the York Sports Report Show. Got a few more notes, a few more little tidbits we want to talk about last night's game. I need a pair on air. That's what I can do. We've kind of gotten away from a few things. Look what I can do. The girls that are coming over, the movies you should see. We'll get back to that. Okay, the playoffs are getting busy. Watching a lot of hockey. So, anyways, that being said, last night's game. Now, this is the second time Alex Burrows has done something kind of stupid. Cross-check Dustin Byfuglien right along the ear, in the neck, in the face area, more or less. And I'll tell you right now, if that was a Hawk player that was doing that to the Vancouver Canuck player, there would be murder. Someone would actually take a life in this city. And I know last year Dustin Byfuglien did it to Roberto Luongo. Got squished on Roberto, and when Byfuglien got up, he put his stick more or less across his jugular. Not good. Should have got a penalty. He didn't, though. But at the end of the day, the Vancouver Canucks are getting waxed. Okay? They're not keeping their composure. They're not playing physical. They're not playing tough. They're playing stupid hockey. And that's what the Canucks, and that's why the Canucks are partly losing for. One of the radio stations here in Vancouver decided to say, well, Vancouver is still a better team. In my mind, they're still a better team. Do they need to play faster or tougher? Take your pick. Listen, playing faster, you can't teach speed. Either you were born with a great set of wheels or you're not. Bottom line. Okay, you can go to power skating lessons all you want. But when you've got natural speed, such as Toews and Kane and Versteeg and Sharp and Hossa, show me 5 to 6 players like that on the Canucks roster that can skate. The Sedins are lightning fast. Ryan Kessler is nowhere to be found in this series. Mason Raymond is great on the boards up and down, north to south, but he doesn't have back-breaking speed or ankle-like speed where he sort of jukes and jives and gets around you. No, he doesn't. And they're not shooting. The Canucks are just not shooting enough. All this razzle-dazzle-me Thomas Gradin stuff, that was in the 80s. I don't know what year the Canucks decided to start passing 1 million passes before they shoot. Who cares about the pretty goals? The Canucks need to get it going here. Big time. Alex Burrows has to stay out of the penalty box. That's that. If this is your guy that got you 34, 35, 36 goals in the regular season, someone's got to get in this kid's ear. I understand what Burrows is trying to do, giving Byfuglien the big cross-check and all that. But at the end of the day, save it. And when you're kind of at the bottom of the scrum, gouge, punch, pull, scratch, whatever. But don't do it when the ref's standing, 6 feet beside you and you're going like this. It makes no sense. They're playing dumb hockey, the Vancouver Canucks. By the way, dumb hockey fan who is sitting there in his fat Canucks jersey, in his fat gut with his Canucks jersey, glasses and all, and decides to start chirping off at Ben Eager. Now, how this got started was that there was a little bit of a tussle beside the Hawks bench. A Canuck player lost his helmet, and a Hawk player just threw it over the bench. Okay? So the bottom line is that fat man in the crowd decides to start chirping at a Hawk player. Well, Ben Eager takes a little exception to that, turns around, and more or less probably says, anytime, pal, come on down here. This guy's saying, you're effing dead, I'll come down there, I'll take care of you. It's like, dude, I know you're a gangster wannabe, like the rest of your pals are and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, why show up to an event, arena, when you've just shelled out $400 or $500 for a ticket and act like a buffoon? The guy didn't look like that much of an idiot either. He looked kind of somewhat intelligent. He's got the brainiac glasses, and then he just decides to put on the idiot hat. And I would have loved it if he would have said anything remotely close to, or had done anything remotely close to the point where Ben Eager went up there and slapped him in the face. Because it's idiot fans like that ruin it for everybody. Everybody. Can't stand these type of hockey fans. Just can't stand them one bit. The guy was just a goof, big time. I would really like to say something, but I won't. We'll keep it to that. But what a complete jerk. And then, so the police and the security, boom, you're out of here. Beautiful. Brilliant. I've been in the garage, and I've seen how Canuck fans treat other hockey fans of other teams, and especially Chicago. Vancouver fans are just idiots in that building. Just complete buffoons. I've met numerous people that have season's tickets for the Vancouver Canucks and just can't stand some of the idiots that walk into that building. It's just a Punkville mentality down there. I don't know. It gets under my skin. And this guy's saying, yeah, I'll effing, knock you out and all that stuff to Ben Eager. Ben Eager's a big boy. In the bar, in the back alley, Eager would have just annihilated this dude. And this guy's talking trash. Give me a break. Grow up, buddy. Grow up. I think it's funny, though. I'm glad they booted his ass out, because the guy probably shelled out a few $100. But anyways, bottom line, Canucks are taking stupid penalties. And they're doing a lot of talking. They're doing a lot of talking. Roberto let in some rebound, again, let in a few goals off rebounds. And if you're going to do that, then your defense needs to be aware of that. And again, I go back to a point that I've made drastically, is that the Vancouver Canucks are not a second half consistent team. Just before the Olympic break, at the end of the season, not once in a stretch did the Canucks win 3 or more in a row in regulation time. I'm going to keep pounding that point into the ground over and over and over. Because when you look at the Chicago Blackhawks record, they won several times in the regular season, or pardon me, they won 3 or more in different stretches several times throughout the whole season. The only time the Hawks got into trouble was after the Olympic break. And they were kind of win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. And then they lost against Washington, Philadelphia, and forgive me, but there was another loss in there. And that was the first time all season long they lost 3 in a row. So for the media to come on the radio here every day in Vancouver, pull your heads out of your ass. Where do you get that the Vancouver Canucks are a better team? The Chicago Blackhawks, they went to the Western Conference Final last year. They've got a book of skills and tools and of experience as well. Just because they're young, they're too young. They're too young. They don't have the experience. What? They went to the Western Conference Final last year. That's going to count for something.
Hawk fans still laughing about a lot of the media here in Vancouver saying that the Hawks are just too young and too inexperienced. The Canucks are much more mature this year. Sunday night could be looking like a night like this for a lot of Vancouverites if the Chicago Blackhawks bounce the Canucks out in Game 5. But we'll find out in Game 5 at the United Center in Chicago. Oh, by the way, happy birthday to Emmett. Love you, big guy.